I'd like to ask you at this stage, again with your pointer if you could, is to give me an idea of where your organization spends most of its activity and time on analyzing customer data and providing insights, or on gathering customer feedback. If you could choose the pointer and just show me what that split might be. Thank you. Thank you. So the majority of you your organizations seem to work a lot with customer data. Could I ask you, if anybody would like to share, which of the following tools, if you could use your pointer now, which is the first little icon at the top of your screen, if you could each respond to me, which of these metrics are you most familiar with? Thank you. Thank you. Great. Super. Good. That gives me a really good indication. So some of these I can move through quite quickly because I see many of you use CSAT. So maybe that one, I won't explain CSAT in too much detail, but rather ask you for your view on how CSAT works for you and what you do with the results. I see very few people, in fact, none of you have responded to customer effort score. I find this a very useful measure, so I'll talk about that a little bit more. And NPS always causes quite a stir because you either love it or you don't like it at all. And from my experience, many people say they use NPS, but they don't use full NPS. So I think it's worth us talking about that. Anna, I see you do CRV, so that's really interesting. And looking at customer retention rate. And then customer lifetime value is another one that's really worth looking at. And for each of these, I will give you a calculator of how you can calculate these things, and it's part of an Excel sheet. It's an Excel formula that I have given you as part of your pack, so that you'll be able to go and play with these numbers at a later time to see if these scores work for you and if you want to introduce them in your company. Whose presentation are we seeing here?
It will be Andrea's group.
Perfect. All right. So would you like to tell us what your key findings are?
Can you hear me there?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. So we decided to use the in-flight results to focus on that touch point, on that particular one. We have a low NPS score there, and we saw that there are problems related to food and customer service. As the findings, we put some specific routes, but the comments are very, well, they have different things based on focus, but are related to the limited choice of the food and the customer service of the cabin crew. I don't know if someone else of the team wants to add something.
Anybody else in that team would like to add any more information to this? Okay, let me ask you, sorry, yes, go ahead, Ty.
I think that we see a higher net promoter score for February. It is 47, and in March it is 35. And when you see through the data for February, we see that we have more detractor on economy class passenger. And what we have here is Andrea has more detail in the NPS for economy cabin, and then we go drill down to the route, and we see that we have more detractor on Sydney and Bombay, where in Sydney it is more about food, and in Bombay it's more about customer service. And I think that we have, if you have more time, we can look through the comment from passenger, because I haven't had the time to see the sentiment score, because we have a column for sentiment score also, but I haven't been able to look through the data in that column also.
No, I think this is super useful, because what you presented to us is you presented us your primary findings. You've given us a great idea of where the problem might sit, and you've drilled into that in a little bit more detail to help management really understand that if they want to change that number, what it might be related to is food and service. And then what you could do is go and look at some of the sentiment to understand what about the food, what about the service, and you've got that too. So you've got limited choice and cabin crew. So I think you guys have done a really good job, given the time frame,